Mr. Harris, what is your vision to elevate the image of the Hopewell Public Schools and ensure a higher graduation rate?
The image of the city of Hopewell is improving. Things are better than it was. I know that we have some problems in our school system, but the record shows that it is continually building a better image for the city. Therefore, when it is an opportunity for the school system to bring in new programs, those new programs will have something to do with the improvement of the city. Now, when we talk about improving the city, we have to also consider the cost. And the school system starts off financially at the city council. That's where it starts. And the city council gets their money from the citizens. And if the citizens are not willing to pay for the cost, then you can expect that you would not have a kind of school system that we desire.
Thank you. Mr. Emerson, what is your vision to elevate the image of the Hopewell Public Schools and ensure a higher graduation rate?
I would have a great respect for the school system, the school board, and I think they do a great job. I think we have great facilities here that the city council has worked in the past with the school board to create. Very evident that if you have a nice, modern, well-run, clean facility, just like probably your workplace, you're going to be more productive. You're going to be prouder. So the vision is for, one, make sure we finish the high school and give them everything they need there. And that's what city council does. They just give the school board what it needs to do their job. And I think facilities are very important. I think we have really good teachers. We have problem areas with students. So while we were talking before about not abiding by the rules, that kind of carries through from our families here that are the crime problem to the school. And you have to feel sorry for a lot of these kids that are going to schools. And when we figure out how to help that, we'll cure the national crisis. But I see an investment of a modern schoolroom with computers. Our school system has a tough time getting modern equipment because of the budget. I would like for us to increase that tax base so that we can provide a facility for them to get educated to the best of our abilities.
Thank you. Mr. Randolph, what is your vision to elevate the image of the Hopewell Public Schools and ensure a higher graduation rate?
I think this is a tough question because I think that elevating the image and elevating the graduation rate starts at home. And while we can do a lot of things, I think the city should look at helping the school systems to have modern facilities. I agree with Mr. Emerson at not having locker rooms in high school is a detriment to those students and their learning capabilities, whether it's through physical activity or in the classroom. I think assuring that we have good housing that can bring in teachers. We have the inability to house teachers in our locality in the past, and they've had to live elsewhere. And every day they drive outside of the town. I think that we're working on that and improving our housing and have a lot of new housing going up. And thank goodness that we have developers that will step up to the plate and give incentives to teachers and public workers to live in our city and to improve the caliber and not discounting certain teachers that already live here, but increase the caliber and the number of teachers that we have coming in. There's a lot of things that we can do, but as a council person, I'm not sure I have the ability, other than to work with school board members, to try and make those realities.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, many houses in Hopewell are in poor repair, once littered with abandoned cars and other debris, along with parking of automobiles on front lawns are abundant. What steps would you see taken to eradicate these abuses?
We've talked about this for a long time. The police department has the responsibility of making sure that all of the laws are being kept. So if the police, that's its job, we will improve that condition immediately. Therefore, I think that now that we have put on additional police officers, I would suspect that those things that you have mentioned will be improved immensely.
Thank you. Mr. Rambow, what steps would you see taken to eradicate these abuses?
I was lucky enough to be on the housing plan as a citizen advisor about 5 years ago. When we did windshield studies and we looked at how our housing appeared through a driveway. And we have a lot of housing that is antiquated and old. We have a lot of housing that, while it is historic in nature, and I love historic preservation, but it does not make sense in some cases, and it's not to the benefit of the city to keep every single historic structure if we have allowed it to be boarded up for years and years. I believe that this city is capable of taking the plans that they have and having them adopted and utilized to the best of the citizens and the city's benefit. That doesn't mean that it has to be adopted exactly as such, but it can be a flexible plan that moves in a direction that the city and its citizens want it to move. But it has to be looking at how we need to use code enforcement to enforce the laws, to clean up what we have, to not allow boarded up buildings to stay out there, and to not stop in midstream an Operation Clean Sweep, as Mr. Emerson said, simply because it's an election year and somebody might have griped about it. We have to get inoperable vehicles that are a detriment to what people see when they want to come and live here or want to come in as tourists and spend money.
Thank you. Mr. Emerson?